Welcome to Systems of Equations while they are in standard form. Looking at my problem number 1, I noticed neither one are in y equal, so I have two choices on how to solve. The first choice is I can plot the intercepts using cover-up method, or put it in y equals mx plus b and go from there. I'm going to do the top line, putting it into y equals mx plus b. So I have x plus 2y equals 6. First thing I do is circle what I'm solving for and draw my line. How do I get rid of that x? I subtract it. You will always subtract the x if it is in standard form. So I have 2y equals, remember I'm looking for y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to slide that negative x in there first, and then put my positive 6 on the end. Circle what I'm solving for. How do I get rid of what's inside the circle? By dividing. So I have y equals, now there's a secret 1 right there, right? So I have negative 1 divided by 2, x, and then 6 divided by 2 is a 3. So to draw my pink line, I'm going to start at 3. My slope is a negative 1/2, which means if I go negative 1, I have to go positive 2. If I go positive 1, I go negative 2. Positive 1, negative 2. Negative 1, positive 2. Like that. I'm going to connect. And I'm done. The second equation, we could plot the intercepts, or we could solve for y. I think we're going to try the cover-up method and plot the intercepts. So if I cover up my x term, what is y? Y is going to be negative 4. So I'm going to go on the y, negative 4, I'm going to put my dot. So now I'm going to come back. I'm going to cover up my y, and what do I have left? Well, I have 4x equals negative 4. So to undo what's inside there, you divide by 4, and x is going to equal negative 1. So I'm going to go negative 1, I'm going to put a dot. Then I'm going to connect them. Now, I'm going to do something so I make sure that I get my right line, because I have the feeling I'm going to be connecting with this point here. But I want to see what my slope is here to make sure I'm right. So I'm going to do the slope triangle real quick. So I count up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. So my slope is really, of that second line, a negative 4 over 1. So instead of just blindly drawing my line, I'm going to count up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and go over 1, just to make sure I was right. So now I have the point where they both cross as being right here. So I need to identify that point. So my answer in XY form will look like my x value. So I go to my point and I drag it down. My x value will be a negative 2. And then I need to find my y value, which is a positive 4. And I'm done. Keep in mind, all this work up here, none of this counts as my answer. This is my answer. You need to show this work in order to get the answer correct, because we do partial credit. Number 2. X is negative 2, or x is positive 2. So I go to positive 2 on x, and you'll notice it doesn't say anything about y. So it's one of those undefined lines. So it looks like that. Do cover-up method on the second equation. Cover up my y's. What's x going to be? Well, x is going to be negative 2. Cover up my x, and what's my y going to be? Well, I have left 2y equals negative 2. So I'm going to circle, draw my line, divide by 2, and y is going to be negative 1. So again, I'm going to do my slope triangle to figure out what that's going to be really. So it looks like I have a 1 over 2 slope, a negative 1 over 2 slope. So I'm going to go through with my pink dot here, and I'm going to continue. So if I go down 1 over 2, I'm still a part of that same line. And I could go up 1 over 2, and then I'm going to connect my line. Just helps me create more dots and helps me create a better looking line. So I found where they're crossing right there. So I need an x and I need a y value. My x value, well, it already tells you x is going to be 2, so x is 2. So what's my y value? It looks like negative 2. If you take a look at the top one on number 3, you cannot do cover up because you end up with 8 divided by 3, and that does not divide nicely. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do slope-intercept form on the top one. So I have 3x minus 2y equals negative 8. Circle what I'm solving for, draw my line, subtract by 3x on both sides. Remember, since we want y equals mx plus b, we are going to write our negative 3x first and then tack on the plus 8 at the back. Circle what we're solving for. How to undo what's inside the circle? You divide by 2. Divide by 2. So y equals this negative and that negative make a positive 3 over 2x. This positive and that negative will make a negative 4. So I'm going to go to negative 4, put my dot. My slope is a 3 over 2, so I'm going to count up 3, go over 2. Count up 3, go over 2. And then I'm going to connect. Then I'm going to take a look at my second equation. You'll notice I can't do cover up on it either because I'll get x equals 12, and my graph, it doesn't go up to 12. So I can't graph that. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to circle my y, draw my line, and I'm going to start by subtracting x. So y equals negative x plus 12. 4y equals, sorry. So then I'm going to circle what I'm solving for, and I'm going to divide by 4. Y equals negative, remember there's a 1 there, 1/4 x plus 3. So I'm going to go to 3, I'm going to put my dot. My slope is a 1 over negative 1/4, so if I went up 1, I would go to the left 4. If I went down 1, I go to the right 4, and then I connect. So then I look for my answer in x, y format. My x value is a 4. My y value is a 2. And I'm done. Please finish.